Right. Hello. Alright. I'm an F1 fan. I enjoy F1 so much. 3 races already happened this year. The Australian Grand Prix, the Chinese Grand Prix, and damn, I think those are the only 2 races that happened. I forgot for some reason. We're gonna rank all of the grid. Specifically the drivers. We're not doing the teams because I think you can make an assumption based on the cars. So here's my 2025 F1 grid prediction. Or technically I'm gonna do driver rating prediction. So here's my 2025 drivers tier list. Alright. Now we're starting with Max Verstappen. Now, he hasn't had a pole position. No, he hasn't finished on. No, he's finished on pole, but he hasn't won. So, Red Bull, this team is looking icky. If we're gonna be honest right now, the year's not looking good for them. It's not looking good for them. I mean, we'll talk about it soon, but Liam Lawson, this guy, 2 races in, and then they've already something about Yuki Tsunoda with the Japanese Grand Prix coming out, starting, well, technically practice starting on Friday, but qualifying's on Saturday. Yeah, qualifying's Saturday, I forgot that. The car is supposedly not good for second drivers. Now, I'm pretty sure the thing with it is Max loves a really front, he loves an extremely sensitive front of the car. So I don't know. The car in itself isn't what it used to be. He isn't. Usually the Red Bull is the best car. It is by quite a landslide. This year not so much. Ferrari are doing bits. Mercedes look strong, not stronger than. I think that's more Max and Mercedes. I'm gonna put him at S. It's not a conversation. He could win the championship this year. He actually has a really big chance. Second, Liam Lawson. Yeah, you see my direction? I'm a Daniel Ricciardo fan. The GOAT, DR3. I'm the biggest fan of Daniel Ricciardo. When Red Bull, and it's not me hating on Liam Lawson, but it kind of is. Not hating on him specifically, but mainly on Red Bull. Daniel Ricciardo should have been the second driver, should have been the Red Bull driver. He should have been in the second seat at least. The fact that they replaced him with Liam Lawson, and then 2 races in, Liam Lawson as a Red Bull driver gets switched out for Yuki Tsunoda, shows the incompetence. How does a championship winning team, the mismanagement is crazy. Clearly no one likes the car, or at least second driver. Perez struggled, Liam Lawson struggled. Hopefully Yuki Tsunoda doesn't struggle, but he might struggle. Then what, they're going to put in Isaac Hadjar after 3 seats? Now, we all know Dr. Helmut Marko. I'm putting doctors because he's a doctor, but not a real doctor. He said Yuki Tsunoda can spend the whole season at Red Bull. Lies. It's a lie, it's a lie, it's a lie. I've got a better chance of staying the whole season if this is under the assumption that he doesn't perform. If he performs, of course, they're going to keep him there, but Red Bull are not a nice team. Helmut Marko is, let's just say, bro made fun of Isaac Hadjar for crashing when he crashed in the formation lap in Australia. And then shout out to Uncle Hamilton. I don't know why I'm calling him Uncle Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton's father. He helped out Isaac Hadjar, but bro's a bully. Anyways, Liam Lawson, as of now, bro finished P20. He finished last place in all of his races, so. But he's if we're being objective, he's actually a pretty good driver, especially when he was at VCOB. He was beating Yuki Tsunoda. So you gotta give him credit. Now, is he the worst driver in the grid? If we're doing by 2025 standards, if he was to continue at Red Bull, I would put him in D. If he goes to VCOB, and I think he'll prefer the VCOB car more, I think I'll put him in C. Because he's only been at Red Bull for 2 races. Out of how many races? 52 or something? I don't know how many races. I don't know why it's 52. It's kind of wild, but you get me. I'm going to put him in C. But, maybe. I can imagine Helmut Marko swapping in, getting Franco Colapinto into VCOB and getting rid of Liam Lawson because he's that much of a prick. Alright, the McLaren. So let's just do it. Lando Norris. Bro is handsome. No homo. I don't bend that way. I don't play in that, I don't do that stuff. But, bro, Lando Norris is low-key a good driver. A bit arrogant, a bit of a prick sometimes, I'm not gonna lie to you, but there's some English bias as well, I'm not gonna lie. But Lando Norris, I'm gonna put him in S tier because he is S tier. Now, I think this is probably my most controversial opinion. Oscar Piastri is a better driver. I think he's a better driver. We clearly see it. this guy he should be the number one driver. Now, again, they don't have a number one driver. Luckily, and Mark Webber's the agent, but they say they don't have a number one driver. I guess they don't do anymore, because I'm pretty sure him and Lando's contracts are pretty similar, but we both know Lando's still the number one driver for McLaren as of right now. I think Oscar Piastri, I think, from my opinion, like, the way he drives and I think his performance and the fact that he's so cool-headed, I wouldn't be surprised if he's soon to become the number one. I can imagine him being, competing for the championship. I think he's got a far higher chance. Hear the word far higher. I do think there's quite a big margin. I think he's closer to Verstappen than Norris is to Verstappen. Like, I think there's quite a big margin. So, I'm going to put him in S as well. Charles Leclerc, bro's a cutie pie. Again, I don't mean that way, but bro, objectively, it's a cutie pie. Of course, the red, the red makes him look good. It's a Ferrari. Who doesn't like a Ferrari? Now, Ferrari, horrible strategists. Why are you boxing? When I sleep, I hear the words box, box. Horrible strategists. That being said, their cars do well sometimes. They've got Lewis Hamilton on that team, so he'll probably provide some elite feedback. But I mean, to a certain extent, how much more can he, provide a higher level of feedback in comparison to like Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc? So, the car, it seems pretty decent. The strategy in this team is horrible. Where will he be for this year? Just F1 grid. I'll put him at A. I don't think he's up there with him. I just don't. To be honest with you, I don't think even. I think Oscar Piastri is a way better driver. Hot take. I don't know. Yeah, Oscar. Lewis Hamilton. My nigga. I shouldn't say that, but I can. Lewis Hamilton. Bro left Mercedes. A lot of African people pronounce it as Mercedes for some reason. They can't say C properly. I should have been fun, but that's life. Lewis Hamilton, he's a Ferrari. Now, Lewis Hamilton's objectively, as of right now, I mean, not objectively, because some people might say Senna, Michael Schumacher, so, but he's up there as the GOAT, depending on who you want to say. He's at Ferrari now, so, but again, the weird thing with Hamilton is, like, this guy is the kind of guy who decides his own strategy in, like, while racing. He will tell the engineers what strategy he wants to do in comparison to a lot of other drivers. It worked out really well for him. We saw it in his time at Mercedes. Bro was giving the engineers not commands, but little commands. You can get commanded by the GOAT. He would get commands from the engineers telling him these tires feel good. Whereas certain drivers, they listen a bit too much to the engineers. Hot take. Certain drivers listen too much to the engineers, and they get caught lacking. And especially for a team like Ferrari, the engineer's advice, you want to take it like, you want to chill out. It's like, you want to be like, whoa, it's alright, I know what I'm doing. And Lewis Hamilton's a GOAT, he knows what he's doing. Now, for the F1 2025 grid, now this is not overall grid, of course, it's not overall. I'm saying this year. Is he an S or 80? Those are the two categories, S or A. Now, do I think he's in the same echelon as, Piastri, Norris, Verstappen? He could be. But that Ferrari, it's not looking good. I think I'm going to have to put in an A. I think it has to be. But I don't care. Alright, Carlos Sainz. It felt like, it was really sad when Ferrari pushed him out. When Ferrari, because it's Lewis Hamilton. If you can get Lewis Hamilton, why not? And so they got Carlos Sainz. I was kind of sad, if I'm going to be honest with you. I was like, oh, it's sad. Carlos Sainz always felt like the kind of driver, first of all, he gives off Ferrari vibes. So when he moved to Williams, I was like, whoa, this is kind of wild. But, Williams, the car was pretty decent actually this year. I mean, when I say decent, I mean in comparison to previous Williams cars, where their cars, you'd be surprised if they even finished the race. Where will I think he ends up in the 2025 tier list? I think he's a B. Alex Albon, for the past few races, has been surpassing him by quite a margin. I think he's been. I don't know. It's either Alex Albon overperformed or he's underperformed, and I think it's more hot take. I think Carlos has more underperformed in the Williams car, maybe because he's not used to it, which makes sense. But I do feel like Alex Albon's been showing pretty good pace with the car. So where would I put Carlos Sainz specifically? because he's got great feedback. I mean, James Vowles was talking about it, how when Sainz had to retire, when he's not retired, well, yeah, retired, when the car went out, he was giving great advice. I put him in. Oh, I can't put him in the same category or echelon with Liam Lawson. I'm gonna put him in B. Yeah. Same with Alex Albon. Alex Albon's B. Actually, he could even be in the A tier when it comes to performance. When in comparison with the car, I'm gonna put him in a B tier because this is ending up like, you know, teams. You know. Anyways, Alex Albon, he's performing really well. He's performing really well. Like, in comparison to what we assumed the potential of the car was, some might say even overperforming. You know, finishing, was it P5 he finished? I think Kimi Antonelli got a penalty. I think he got like a penalty. So Alex Albon was promoted to P5, but I think they appealed it. Whatever. He P5, P6 in a Williams. Come on now. I mean, Carlos Sainz got his first points for Williams because of the penalty. So whereas Alex Albon was in that P5, P6 range, like, come on. Alex Albon could even be in that B category when you take into account what the car he does have. No, he's not A. Alright, George Russell, pretty boy George. Now, is he S? Nah. But he's better than A. I'm going to put him in like the higher ranking A, so above Lewis Hamilton. I do think he will achieve more when you take into account. Because I think Mercedes and Ferrari are quite, no, I don't want to say too close, but they're close to a certain extent. And I think George Russell is going to perform pretty well with that car. Now, the question will be like, wow, will this Mercedes? I know, Mercedes are known for being consistent. They're known for being consistent. I think they'll do pretty well. So I'm going to put him in A. This is to assume he gets in that P4, if he consistently gets around P4, P5, not P5, yeah, P5 off there, but usually if he gets around P4, he's in that A, he can even be in S tier, because when you take into account, like, the Mercedes is slower by quite a bit in comparison to the McLarens. It's a bit faster than the Ferrari, but, you know, that's not saying much. No, well, it's saying much, but you know what I mean. Kimi Antonelli. This guy's doing pretty well for someone who came to Formula 1 this week. Well, he's only been in Formula 1 for 2 races. He's been in the top 5. First season, first 2 races, top 5. Yeah, he's young as well. It's a Mercedes. He didn't even start off with like a junior team like Williams, which they're not a junior team, but they are. Or like not Alpine, a V-Carb or something like that. He's doing pretty well. He's also in that B range. Because I don't know now. See, this is getting difficult because no, it's been his first 2 races. He's been B. This is for the whole 2025 predictions. Do I think he can sustain this? I don't know. I'm gonna put him in B for now, but I'll see how it's going. Oh, okay. Fernando Alonso. He's not been having a good time, but Aston Martin, who recently gave, what's it called? That big bag he gave Adrian Newey, that 36.5 million a year bag. Crazy. Let me draw something. I'll make you a rocket ship for 36.5 million? Damn. Yeah, so Aston Martin, they've been spending money, but Fernando Alonso does not look like he's liking this car. I might put him in the C range. Like, he's underperforming. And when I say underperforming, I mean in comparison to Lance Stroll, who for the past 2 races, no one's been talking about it, but he's been performing pretty well. Okay, I know this might be controversial, but his performance in this car's been pretty. It's been 2 races, but 2 races where he's been good. This is a driver who is. You can say like how his father's the majority owner of the team. He's trying to buy out the minority owners now for like 35 million. He's got guaranteed seats, so there's less of a pressure on him to maintain his seat and stuff like that. He's like, no, I'm comparing it to a 40-something-year-old Fernando Alonso, so that's not saying much, but at the same time it's saying something, because Fernando Alonso is an elite driver. I mean, last year he performed pretty well in comparison to the car again, so I'm putting B, like in the higher range. I think he's doing better than Sainz. You can say better than Albon. No, this is the whole year. I think he'll do better than Sainz, because he's just so used to that car anyways. He's doing really well. I think he's one of those drivers where, like, because he gets so much hate, you kind of forget to give him his credit, which he rarely deserves, I'm going to be honest. But I like him, you know. Bro, Daddy Stroll, hit me up. Don't hit me up, I don't mind that Sugar Daddy thing, but you know what I mean. My boy, what's that? Pierre Gasly, I don't know why I said what's that. Alpine. You know, the Alpine car looks like it stinks, but also looks like it's decent. Alpine's a weird team, you know. Alpine's a team, like, one morning, these guys are at the back, like P18. And then next week, these men are fighting for podiums. Makes no sense. Who cares? That's what makes Formula 1 pretty fun. Where would I put him? When we come in a year, he looks like he's not lucky enjoying that car. Jack Dillon, we're going to be talking about him as well. That Alpine looks dead, if we're going to be honest. The team looks dead. Where do they land? In comparison with that horrible trash bin of a guy, I'm going to put him in C. He actually done, I think he has finished in the top 10, but I don't remember. I don't remember. Jack Doohan. This guy, let's talk about it. He's getting kicked out. Jack Doohan is getting kicked out of Alpine. I don't know what they're going to do, but they're going to find a way to swap him in for Franco Colapinto. Franco Colapinto has moved from being the reserve driver for Williams to being the reserve driver for Alpine. Alpine are going to do anything they can to swap out Doohan for Colapinto, because Colapinto performed really well last season when he subbed in for Logan Sargent, Logie Bear. Shout out Logie Bear. That nigga's doing nothing. When he subbed in for Logan Sargent, he performed really well for Williams. They'll want him. I can imagine even Red Bull consider bringing him into VCARB if Liam Lawson doesn't perform. So it'll be interesting. I feel sorry for Liam Lawson now when I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I'm gonna put him in D. I think he won't even, I don't think he'll get past the halfway through mark. Okay. Isaac Hadjar. Let's talk about VCARB. Isaac Hadjar. First season, first two races. First race did not do pretty well. I mean, bro crashed out in the formation lap. Now, you give some grace because this is a wet Australian. I don't know, when was the last time they had a wet Australian Grand Prix? A long time ago. And of all races to have a wet racing, an Australian Grand Prix, not one of them. So him starting off his F1 career in that, I mean, there was like 5 crashes in that race. Majority of them were rookies. So you can miss grace. And then he performed pretty well in China. His qualifying, I don't remember where he qualified, but he performed pretty well. His race pace is pretty good. He looks good. But, you know, Red Bull is not the team where you want to be looking decent. You want to be looking good. Like, you want to be like, okay, they'll be willing to swap you in for the main guy just because Red Bull have no level of consistency. So, Isaac Hadjar, I think he'll maintain the year. I think he'll be around. Where will he be for the 2025? What ranking? Will he up? The real question for me is like, will he outperform Liam Lawson? I don't think so. But I think he'll be on par with Liam Lawson. I think he's got pretty good race pace. Liam Lawson is extremely arrogant and will do insane things to prove a point. Especially now that he's maybe moved from VCARB to Red Bull, from Red Bull to VCARB. I think he'll be doing anything to prove that he's a good driver, meaning we take wild chances, and so he could it either ends well or ends really badly. Now, what does that mean for Isaac Hadjar? Isaac Hadjar he's comparing himself to 2 drivers. Well, not Yuki Tsunoda anymore, but he's comparing himself to Liam Lawson. He's a pretty good driver. Now, I think Isaac Hadjar will be in that C range. Now, I think he'll be in the D. I think he'll be in the back. He'll be one of the back markers because there'll be a lot of races where you'll be questioning, can he handle it? What, is his pace good enough? His qualifying is meh. In a VCARB that looks pretty decent. I mean, Yuki Tsunoda was doing massively. Last time with Yuki Tsunoda, VCARB. Now in Red Bull, starting off his Red Bull career in the Japanese Grand Prix, being subbed in for Liam Lawson. Now, this will be an interesting one because he's in Red Bull now. This is in a car that Sergio Perez did not enjoy. Liam Lawson did not enjoy it. Even Max Verstappen himself, which the car is pretty much tailored to him, has criticised it, saying there's probably a problem with the car, not the drivers. And so, Yuki Tsunoda going into that in Japanese Grand Prix, his home race, it's a lot of pressure for a driver. Will he perform? I don't know. I hope so. And I think he will. But it'll be one of those things like, I'll put him in this higher C. I don't think I'll put him in B. Because he's one of those, he's a wild card. Because like, it's no longer about his driving ability, it's about the car. I mean, can he drive in that car? Who knows? No one really knows. Will he be? I'll put him in B now. But that's under the assumption that the card as well. I don't know. Nice. Alright, Haas. Esteban Ocon, Esti. The Haas looks pretty good. They've been getting points. Where would I put him for the year? I think he'll probably even get a podium. He's one of those drivers where you're like, he puts in this crazy race and gets a podium somehow. No one knows how, but he does it. He's great. He's got great race pace, great qualifying, consistent driver. Not that much beef with his teammate. Well, not yet at least. It's only been 2 races. I wouldn't be surprised if he started fighting Ollie Behrman. Where would I put him for the year? I'm going to put him in C. I think that Haas will be in that C. Yeah, the same with Ollie Behrman. His first full season, I guess, will be in Red Bull, in Haas. He performed pretty. We've seen him in other cars, like in the Ferrari. He did pretty well then. He's done pretty well in the Haas as well in previous seasons. So I'll put him in a C as well. I think that Haas is a C. And then let's talk about the kick Sauber, the trash bag. If you're in England, you know a lot of the bins, recycle bins, are green. I think a recycling bin is faster than the Sauber car, or the Audi, I guess they're called. No, they still call kick Sauber. So let's just put them in D now. In comparison to the car, Gabriel Bottas, I'm putting him in D. That guy's done nothing. And why would you expect him to do anything? It's a kick car. Ugh. Hulkenberg, I'll put him in D, C, only because that guy can perform. You put him in a horrible car, we saw him with the Haas. You put him in a horrible car, he'll still give you an A-star performance. The real question is, can the car do that? Who knows? Do you know? I bet you don't. Because Formula 1 is that thing where it's like, you'll get races every so week and you'll be like, oh, this is dead. And then you'll get races and you'll be like, wow, I think I'm gonna bust. Hey, yo, alright, see you, bye.